morning. Happy Wednesday. Today is December 18th, and I cannot believe we're a week away from Christmas already. And winter is surely upon us as I woke up to 38 degrees, which is pretty damn cold for Southern California. This office, my shop, it's not heated. I use portable heaters, but I don't use them when I'm not around, so it's going to take a while to get warmed up today. Yesterday, I shared some video, a lot of cut, bend, roll, preparing sticks for the Imperial Cycle frames. I also mentioned that I have a lot of tube notching and coping ahead of me, which I did. Also have people chiming in asking what type of tube notcher I'm using. So yesterday, I let the cameras roll. Let's keep this moving and see what's happening with Peak Cycles. So here we have the JD2 Tube Notcher. This is the TN100. Love this tool. People ask me if it's worth the money, and it sure is. Designed to use in a couple different user positions. I'll show you that here in a minute. First, we're going to switch out this hole saw. This is the one for the bottom brackets. I'm going to switch it out with the one for the head tubes. How the notcher works, I'll show you here in just a minute. I'd like to first go over the different user positions that I mentioned a moment ago. One of them being the up and down position. Feed your stick through here, tighten it down, and you're coping in the down position. The other option is, I personally don't have this mounted into my bench permanently, as I prefer to be able to remove it when use my bench openly when I'm not using the notcher. So you loosen this bolt here, this will swing down. When it's swung down, tighten it up, you can mount this into your bench this direction. You then have the drive here, and you're now coping this way. Run your sticks this way, and some people like this because you can get some leverage on it. You can hold onto it like this. For me, when I first used this tool, I was using it in the down position, and so that feels funny to me. So I just keep using the down position. There's no right or wrong, just a matter of preference. Let's go ahead and switch out this hole saw. This may seem like elementary to some, but you know what? Not everybody's seen this notcher, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to switch out the hole saw. I already broke this loose here prior. This spins off like any other hole saw. This is the one we need for the head tubes. Basically spins on like that. Tighten it down. Give it a little tug. And we're ready to go. One thing I will touch on is these threads here and the threads inside your hole saw. Do yourself a favor and brush them off every once in a while. Those little fine metal particles and dust build up and get inside there. You'll find yourself with a jammed hole saw or even stripped. I've already ruined one notcher by that happening. Start notching. And we are ready to go. One of the first questions out of the gate is probably going to be, how do you know the degree of angle of your coping versus the head tube break you're shooting for? Well, as you can see, the notcher does have tick marks here that represent your degree of angle. However, it's only relevant if you're using a perfectly straight stick, which in most cases you're not. So for me, I take notes. I know where this needs to be set based on past frames I've done for Eric. Initially, it's trial and error. I use scrap material. I have a pretty good idea of a starting point, and then I just fine-tune it from there. Take notes. You'll be glad you did later. Let's fire this thing up and see where we're at. See how we're looking down here. Looking good. Over the top. One down, two to go. I'll get this exact rake down to the degree once I get it on the frame jig, but for now this will get us very close where we need to be. Boom. Just like that. Still have the seat tubes and down tubes to cope, but you get the idea. Wanted to run through the JD Notcher with you in detail. From here on, we will knock these out off camera. Keep in mind, cleaner copes, tighter copes, better welds. True story. Moving on. So I worked the remainder of the day off camera, although there's still plenty to show you. The triangles to finish up and set up the jig. Still got those loop tails ahead of us. We will touch on all of that throughout the next few segments. But for now, that pretty much wraps it up. And I hope you enjoyed today's version of what's happening at Peak Cycles. And until next time, make it a killer day.